I had the great pleasure of being able to interview a man that I not only get to call Dad, but he is also the mayor of Hilton Head Island. His name is David Bennett. He became the mayor in 2014 when I went off to school here at USC. And since then, he has worked ever so hard to make the community of Hilton Head Island one worth becoming a part of. His motto, one island, one community, one Hilton Head. He's used this throughout all of the events and campaigns that he's had, one including the 4th of July Bash, where we spent over 12 hours working and volunteering to help the people that didn't have anywhere to go on the 4th of July come be a part of the community. It was a totally and completely free event with food and everything. But that's just an example of one thing that he continues to do throughout the years of his mayorship. I figured that my dad would be an excellent person to interview for this marine science project, seeing as how we live in a coastal community of Hilton Head Island. What could be more perfect as marine science applies? As a mayor, he has become involved with many events on the island, some including those that deal with the sea turtle nesting areas. We have an area on the island that deals specifically with these sea turtles, and so I figured since he knew those people that worked in that area of sea turtle nesting, that he would be a great interviewee. Our island is a great place for sea turtle nesting. In fact, we had over 300 sea turtle nests this season. What a great, great success. I figured this would be a perfect topic of discussion. There has also been beach re-nourishment that has happened on the island over the past couple of months. In my head, I put together that the beach re-nourishment and the sea turtle nesting season happened to fall within side by side of each other. So, as I correlated these two and began to talk with my dad about both of these, he told me how they planned to help the sea turtles and it helped make it so that their nesting areas were not affected. Unfortunately, the hurricane that we just had did make an impact on sea turtle nesting. Luckily, it was only during the last swoop that the hurricane hit for the nests, so only a few were shattered. With the beach re-nourishment, sea turtles, plastic waste and debris, and our ecological footprint, along with the hurricane, I figured this interview with my dad would all come in play, and we would have a great, successful interview.
Hi, Dad. This is my dad, Mayor David Bennett. He's the town's mayor of Hilton Head Island, and he's also my dad. I'm meeting with him today to talk a little bit about the sea turtles, the hurricane that we just had, and beach re-nourishment. So, we're in the state of South Carolina. Our state is a coastal state. Our beaches are used for sea turtles as nesting areas. We have 4 kinds of sea turtles in South Carolina: the Kemp's Ridley, the loggerhead, the green, and the leatherback. Do you know what kind of sea turtles are found in nest here on Hilton Head Island?
Predominantly the loggerhead sea turtles. We do get an occasional leatherback, but by and large, I think out of the 320 some odd nests we had this last season, 90+% of them were the loggerheads.
Have you seen any yourself?
On occasion, I've seen 1 or 2 here and there over the number of years. Last year, Oliver and I had the pleasure of going out on with one of our town staff members who is responsible for overseeing the sea turtle project, and we were able to dig up nests that were having troubles with the turtles coming out on their own, and so we were able to sort of help them come out.
Good. Good for you, Dad. Do you know what the most popular areas on our island for sea turtles to nest are?
They literally nest up and down the beaches. All of them.
We know that, as we learned in our marine science class, that sea turtles are an indicator species. Do you know what an indicator species is?
No, I can't say that I do.
This means that they reflect the health of the earth, and we know this because they travel all over the world through the oceans, which brings them from ocean to land. So based on how well the sea turtles are doing as a population, it can reflect on how our earth is as a whole. Have there been lesser or greater nesting areas on Hilton Head Island in the past couple of years?
Greater.
Greater? Yeah. And what do you think these increases due to?
Well, I think in part better preservation efforts on the part of the town of Hilton Head Island and our Coastal Discovery Museum. There's a couple of individuals there that are also part of the Sea Turtle Patrol, and actually your mother and a friend of our family's was able to go out on one of those sea turtle patrols early in the morning, around 5:30, and they are very literally they do that every day throughout the entire sea turtle nesting season. And so at the very start of the season, they go out and they mark every nest on the island, and they put up these little pieces of these stakes of plastic, and then they put little orange rope wrapped around it to kind of keep people away from those nesting sites so that the sea turtles that are down in the nests aren't disturbed in any way. Um, this year, because we knew that the beach re-nourishment project was coming, those same individuals actually went out and relocated nests to a safe spot that wouldn't be disturbed by the beach re-nourishment activity. So I think the town itself and the Coastal Discovery Museum do a really good job of making sure that the turtles are welcome here, so to speak, and their nests are preserved, and so that's a big contributing factor.
Okay, you brought up the beach re-nourishment. I actually had planned to talk about this. There was a project wasn't it in Hilton Plantation where you chose to restore the beaches by implementing sand? Is that true?
Well, the town has a well-defined beach. It's actually part of our municipal code, and we are, I think, the only municipality in the state of South Carolina that has a funding mechanism to continually allow for that beach to be renourished and replenished. This year, we were in the midst of a $20+ million beach renourishment effort to restore pretty much the entirety of what our code defines as the beach, from the southern tip down in Sea Pines, South Beach area, all the way up to kind of the Mitchellville Beach Park area and a little bit beyond that. And so that entire area, I think, received over 2 million cubic yards of sand that was dug up offshore by a dredge and piped, and then it's dumped out on our beach, and that is moved by dump trucks and bulldozers and placed where it's supposed to be. And that beach renourishment effort does several things for us. Number one, it allows us to have attractive beaches that attract tourists to our community. It also serves as, very appropriately so this year, an impact system in the instance of us having a severe storm. And so that the beach actually absorbs a lot of the energy that is brought ashore by the storm, and it protects the structures and our community beyond the sand dunes.
Awesome. So when the beach re-nourishment took effect, was this before or after the sea turtle nesting season?
It was during.
So and then that's when you chose to move the nest to a different area where it's not happening?
That's correct.
Was there any other things that you did in order to protect the sea turtles during that time?
Well, the town itself always has a lights out policy, so that homes that are very near the beach or other structures that are near the beach, they want their lights turned out at night, because the sea turtles, when they do hatch, they are attracted by light, and it's the moonlight that draws them to the ocean waters. If the sea turtles come out and they see lights on the shore, whether they be somebody's porch light or pool light or something of that nature, that has the potential to attract them to the wrong location, and they don't ever find their way back into the ocean. They find themselves in spots where they might be into somebody's pool and drown, or they're eaten by some other form of wildlife. So that's a very important rule that the town has had for a number of years now.
We just suffered the hurricane, as you mentioned. Did the hurricane end up affecting any of the nesting areas of the sea turtles?
Well, by and large, the hurricane hit very near the end of the sea turtle nesting season. There were a few nests that had not hatched that were submerged, and so yes, those sea turtles were lost.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yes, it is.
Sea turtles often get caught up in the plastic and debris that's stuck in the ocean due to the littering that we do on land. Do you know about this? Have there been any efforts by Hilton Head or the town council that have been put in place in order to protect the sea turtles from this plastic that gets caught up in their ocean, whether it be a choking hazard or straw in the nose or just bags anywhere? Because did you know that the leatherback sea turtle actually eats just jellyfish, and when the bags are in the ocean, it looks like a jellyfish because they don't have that great of eyesight, so they eat them, and that's how they die. Has Hilton Head taken any initiative in order to make sure that plastics are kept out of the ocean?
No, but we should. As you know from our trip this summer to San Francisco, where we were able to stop by the largest marine mammal center in the world, just outside of Muir Woods. And that was a very educational experience for me, and I seem to recall you finding it to be the same for yourself. And it's disturbing that our aquatic species are harmed in a way that's clearly preventable by better regulating ourselves and our own activities. And I was impressed by some of the measures that the state of California has taken to address that problem. You may remember that in a lot of places that we were shopping in California, they weren't offering you plastic bags. In fact, if you were to take a plastic bag, you're going to be charged a quarter for it. And that does a couple of things. That's working to change people's habits. And so people have, here in America, a habit of just using plastic bags. But now when you're being charged, that causes you to think about what you're doing. So it's 25 cents a bag, and you imagine you're going to the grocery store here on the island, and gee, you're going to get 10 or 12 plastic bags. I mean, that would add up over time. And so that's a measure to, number one, change your behavior. Number two, whatever proceeds they do raise from those sales in California is being pumped back into addressing the problems in our oceans. But specifically to Hilton Head Island, I have broached that topic with our town council, and we actually hope to discuss it in detail this coming week at our annual planning workshop, where we work to set the priorities for the coming year.
Okay. And what would be, if you had to, one rule that you would make about our plastics or debris that would be in effect for all the island? Maybe not a rule, but like a suggestion. Like you said that California uses the 25 cents per bag. What would something that you can do in Hilton Head be, if you could make a rule?
Well, that would certainly be something that would be good to pursue. Frankly, one thing that's disturbing to me, not just with respect to our aquatic wildlife, but also our aviaries wildlife, those six-pack coagulator rings are particularly harmful, where a bird or a sea turtle or whatever finds its way into one of those six-pack coagulator rings and gets stuck, and so it gets wrapped around its neck. It prevents it from eating. It's just I think something that we as a community, particularly in Hilton Head, which has a history and a legacy of environmental stewardship, we should be on the forefront of trying to enact rules and regulations that preserve the wildlife that God created.
I agree. Since we are located so close to the water, what we do tends to have more of an effect quicker than most areas like up in Columbia. It takes a little longer for the plastic and debris from there to get to the ocean, whereas we're straight on it.
Well, also, Hilton Head has 2.5 million tourists a year that come here, and they're coming here from really all over the world, but predominantly in the Midwest and the Northeast, elsewhere, interland on the Southeast, and if they came here and they saw Hilton Head doing something good for the environment, they take that message back home with them. So it's a way to do something here that has the potential to impact communities elsewhere.
I like it. Well, thanks for meeting with me today, Dad.
Sure, baby.
Yeah, this really helped me out.